Hey, this is Brian, thanks for watching Keys. In today's video, I'm gonna show you step-by-step how to change your brake fluid on a G82 M4. Now, if you happen to have a G80 M3 or a G87 M2, the process is exactly the same. So with that, let's get started. Now, the first part of this process is, of course, to pop your hood, and then we need to get to the brake fluid reservoir, which is located under this panel here. So all you need to do is give this a 90-degree twist, and then this will rock up and pull straight out. Now, whenever you're working with brake fluid, we highly recommend that you wear gloves because this will strip your paint and kill your dog, so make sure that you're being safe. Now what you can do, remove the cap, and I like to put it right there, and there's a little filter in here that needs to be removed. To remove this, typically works best if you use like a flathead screwdriver and just gently work it out. Again, be very cautious of your paint. Next, what you're going to need is a generic turkey baster, and the reason for this is we're going to pull as much of this dirty fluid out of the reservoir as we can, so you're not taking all this dirty fluid and pulling it all the way through the lines. So at this time, remove as much fluid as you can. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to take our brake fluid. You can see we are using LIQUI MOLY 5.1, which surpasses BMW's recommended brake fluid for this vehicle. And we are going to fill our reservoir with new fluid. Now, for the easiest brake flush possible and the least expensive, we like to use the Motive pressure bleeder. We're gonna have links to all these products and tools down below. So now what we can do is we can start to fill this up. We recommend having about a liter of fluid, which is about 4 of these little bottles. And what's going to happen is this is going to pressurize the system, which is going to help all of the fluid extract from the bleeder valves. But the cool thing is, as we're extracting the fluid, this is going to automatically pressurize and refill the tank that's under the hood. All right, so once you've filled it up, you can take this, tighten it down. So now that we have the lid tight, we're going to take the other end. Again, this is a European car specific version that is designed to fit this specific brake reservoir. So let's take this and we're going to thread this on our brake fluid reservoir. Okay, so you can just take this, and as you can see, it threads on super nice. This is actually the same one that fits on the F30s, it fits on the Porsche, it fits on a ton of different makes and models, which is awesome. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to start to pressurize this. BMW says just to not go over 2 bar, which is like 28 PSI. So let's take it up to about 25. All right, now that we have everything pressurized, we are ready to begin the process. As you can see, we are going to be doing this job on our bend pack scissor lift. It is not necessary to have a lift at all. All you really need to be able to do is use a jack and jack stand and take one wheel off at a time. Now, whenever you're bleeding your brakes, you want to start with the wheel that's furthest away from the reservoir. So we're going to start with our passenger rear, then we're going to move over to the driver rear, then to the passenger front, and then finally to the driver front. So let's put the car up in the air and remove the rear passenger wheel. Next, you need to take a fluid catch bottle. It's going to look something like this. Again, we have this all linked for you down below. And what I like to do is just hang this little stainless line on our Keys wheel hanger. And then this other side over here is going to go on the bleeder, which is located right here. So then what you can do is take this little cover and you're gonna pop it off just like this. This end of the hose is going to go on your bleeder valve. Make sure you have it all the way on. Then you're going to take an 11mm, slide it on and crack this open and wait for the fluid to start flowing out. Okay, there we go. Now, when you're bleeding, you're going to be looking for 2 main things. First, you're going to be looking for a color change, and second, you want to make sure that you get as much air out of the system as you can. Now, if your system has been sealed and has been untouched, if you see bubbles like this, a lot of times they're just slipping in through the bleeder. It's not actually air in your line, but you want to make sure that you give it a nice, good flush, and then we're going to tighten it up and torque it down. All right, so this is good. The color is looking great. We're going to snug this up, then we can remove our line. And then one thing that I do like to do is I like to take a little brake parts cleaner and just hit this general area. Remember that this brake fluid will eat the paint, so you want to be very careful with it. Now on the rear bleeder plugs, we're going to torque these down to 10 Newton meters. All right, good. Then we can replace our little dust cap. Now when it comes to torquing the wheels, we're gonna wait until we're done the project and the car is totally on the ground. But now what we're going to do is everything we just did here, we're going to do the exact same thing on the driver's side of the vehicle. Remember, you're going to drain the fluid until the color starts to change and make sure that there's no air bubbles. The bleeder screw is going to get torqued down to 10 Newton meters, and then the wheel again is at 104 foot-pounds. Now, periodically throughout your brake bleed, you want to make sure that you're keeping an eye on your fluid level and also your pressure. You can see that we're down to about 20.5 PSI. So I'm going to pump this back up to 25 to finish out the front. All right, for the front, the main difference is, as you can see, there are two different bleeder screws. Now, typically, you would go from the outside and then do the inside one. However, BMW does recommend that you do the inside one first and then the outside. If you do the outside one, it's probably not gonna make a difference, but we are going to follow BMW's protocol, and we're going to start by bleeding out the inside one. All right, and then once this one has changed colors and there's no bubbles, we're going to stop the flow. And we'll do the exact same thing on the front one. Okay, so then when that's good, you can close that up again. Then once again, make sure that you get any residue off so it doesn't mess up your nice calipers. So then for the front, we're going to set our torque wrench to 18 Newton meters. Then after you replace the caps, you can put your wheel back on, and we'll move on to our final brake. All right, so now what you want to do is you want to release the pressure of your tank over here. Do not start to unscrew this or fluid is going to spray everywhere. You want to just go here and just gently release that pressure. Then once your fluid pressure is released, you can come over here, carefully unthread it, and remove this from the car. Now, as you can see, the reservoir is very full and our max line is way down here. So what you want to do is just take your turkey baster again and remove any of the excess fluid. All right, so as you can see on the side, indicated by this max line, we have properly set the fluid level. So that means we can take our little filter, push that back in, and reinstall the cap. Then finally, you can clean up the area for any that may have spilled. All right, let's reinstall our cover, and then we'll head inside the car to reset the light. Now to reset your brake fluid light, the first thing you want to do is quickly press the start-stop button 3 times. And then your car is going to light up. And if you take a look over here, it's going to say diagnostic mode active. Then you're going to press the BC button over here. And we're going to hold it for about 15 seconds or so. And then a secret menu is going to pop up. Okay, so after about 17 seconds-ish, we have our secret menu. You can see we have brake fluid. It says engine oil and also vehicle check. So go over to where it says brake fluid. You can see it says reset possible. Then we're going to press and hold the BC button. And after a couple seconds, it's going to switch the menu. And it just says reset. So then you can let go, press again and hold. Then it's going to go through the reset process, and you can see it reset at about 2 more years, and the reset was successful. Then the last thing I like to do before I drive the car, I just like to give it a couple pumps on the brake pedal, make sure that everything is nice and firm, and you are good to go. So as you've just seen, doing a brake flush on a G82 M4 is a very easy process, and it's a great project to tackle at home. For all of the listing of all the parts and tools that we used in today's video, be sure to see the links down in the description. Once again, my name is Brian. Thanks for watching Keys. If you like our videos, give us a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe. Check us out at keys.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.